All right, well, Captain says we're making a move. They've picked away at a decent number of fish on this little head here that we've been fishing all morning. But what do we? How many we caught, roughly?
Yeah, I think we've probably released as many as we've kept.
Where are we headed to right now?
Towards Indian Prairie.
Indian Prairie.
Northeast on the lake.
So we're headed to Indian Prairie. We're gonna get set back up, see if we can get back on another batch of fish. So they said,
I missed him.
Oh, look at this.
I missed him right there.
You know, John was just setting this whole thing up. He has orchestrated this exactly how he planned. So we just kind of started out with a mild temperature, and now he's taken us to one of his honey holes. As you can see, they just hooked up a double behind me. I got to get in the game.
That's a big male.
You
That was on the left side.
down just and fish
That's a big
it.
male.
I mean, just move along real slow and fish it, Tommy. It
I can
won't be
try.
that slow.
I can try.
Big male.
People are going to be snagged a lot.
I mean, I turned mine on 25. And,
That was on this other side. Over
oh, I've caught them on both sides, Miss Todd. They're everywhere.
I just got another eat on the left
They're
side.
everywhere. Trust me.
Is that a new contender?
This ain't my first rodeo.
Contender for biggest?
Trust me.
It's about the size of the one that John caught. It's not actually a male. There you go. That's a good fish.
There seem to be more fish on the left side right now, to
Watch
be
out, John.
very honest.
If you're on the upwind side of it, fish in the front facade.
I'd be willing to.
Little guy, he's keeper. Let's turn him loose.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say 1-1 as well. 1-1. She's fat, maybe a 1-1-5. Not real big, but she's. $105. Yeah.
He's got a good one.
Whoa. That's a good fish. Whoa. I guess I'll just leave that scale out.
Hey, we got a new big fish.
Here, while you're back there, Tommy,
I think Tommy's bigger.
go ahead and take that off.
She's got some eggs in her. This is about the same size as that other one.
He
That
hit
one
that
I
thing
just weighed,
twice
maybe a
right
little
down the
bigger.
next one.
I'll go 1-1-5.
Oh, they caught. Maybe 1-2. Don't shake.
0.96.
Small body.
Yeah. I was way off on that one.
About
Not even a pound.
I caught a daggum bass. Hey, I'm a multi-species kind of guy. Tell me you want to make a speckled perch video, and I'll show you how to catch a largemouth bass.
Hey, that's a nice bass.
Is that the electric chicken?
That's it. Let out
go,
one
JD.
full wine. That's a nice bass, ain't it?
Yes, sir. Well
Okay.
fed.
Never know what you're going to catch when you got a jig pole in the water. It can be a bass. It can be anything, but that's a nice bass. It probably weighed a pound and a half, first pound and three-quarters.
You won't let me win anything. I just had the only bass on the boat, and now you just got to catch a bigger bass than me, man. I'm telling you what. Good job, buddy. Nice.
Thank you.
This so what do we got here, guys? Is this a male?
That's a male, yeah. So
All right, I'm on the board again. Old John doing what he does best. This might be one of my better ones of the day. So give it a kiss and get it into the well.
Leave it open. We're just throw that in there now.
He just does it on. He's just doing it on purpose all day long. I think he just sits around and says, "I'm gonna wait for him to finally catch one, and I'm gonna go ahead and catch another one bigger than it."
You get up here in front of me. I'll be the cleanup man. You get up here in front of me.
I'm just enjoying watching the show.
We all just caught a. We all just caught a fish.
Nice bump. He hit it.
Yeah, because I got one and Marcel got one too.
All right, Tommy, what time is it?
2:15.
2:15. I'm gonna guess we've got close to 2 limits in the dang boat, or we've probably caught 2 limits and thrown some back. But so it's been, JD, it's been a fantastic day. We're into the afternoon here, and one of the things that I never actually got to talking about is, you know, this, like I said this morning, this is my first time ever doing this.
Right.
And I never imagined in a million years, you know, the rod that I was going to see as far as how we're doing that, which, you know, you can talk about that in a minute. But more importantly, I've been watching you and Tommy and Marsad and your technique. And obviously you've outfished me, and you know, so talk a little bit about how important the technique is and the style of the way you work this rod when you're trying to catch these speckled perch.
Well, when you find an area like this right here, just look for where you can get the jig down in an open hole or something, and then just pick it up and just drop it down right here real slow in a hole right here like this, and let it sink, and then just bounce it. And I usually go 8, 10, 12 times, and then if I don't get hit, I'll pick it up and I'll just move to another hole right over here. And then I'll lower it down real easy right there like that, and then I'll bounce it up and down. And it's very simple.
Very subtle. Because I know you came over and scolded me a couple times, which I appreciate, about saying you're doing it too fast.
Too fast.
Too fast.
Too fast, yes.
So as far as the jigging of the rod, it's just a slow, subtle movement down 6 or 8 inches, and then you let it sit. You do it again, you let it sit. So you're going through that about 6 or 8 times. You don't get a bite, you're moving to the next spot.
What most people do, if you look, I flex my wrist, and the only thing really moves is the rod tip. But then a lot of people, here, look at here.
I mean,
you just put it in the water and flick it like that.
I promise that fish was not pre-hooked. You saw it go in the water without a fish on it. I mean, you're like a perch magician, man.
Nobody here is surprised at what just happened at all.
All right, so let's throw him back. So the other thing that you were going to mention, which I think again is mind blowing, we're like fishing with like Cadillac cane poles right now. I mean, you know, this you may have heard me say earlier on the video. This reminds me of a very ultralight version of a goggle eye rod that we use offshore in South Florida to catch bait. They're typically 10-foot rods, very long, limber in the tip, soft, you know, so that you're not pulling hooks and all that kind of stuff when you're reeling the bait in. But what really gets me is, I mean, this is the reel. This, if you want to call this a reel, this is what's on it. So explain a little bit about these rods that we're using in this style of fishing.
Well, this is your Uncle Buck's. It's ultralight. It's very light, and when you come out here and if you jig daylight to dark and have a heavy pole, you know, I mean, it'll wear your arm out.
Yeah.
You just wear it out. So I try to find the lightest that's got the best action, yet it's still stiff enough. And these are Slater reels. Marsad and Tommy, they use little round reels. But I was used to fishing off an airboat, and they just had little round rod holders. And these would slide down in the rod holders, so I got used to just using these Slater reels. And I just tape them to this right here, and I mean, it does a super job.
Yeah, I've had this in my hand most of the day. I was expecting my wrist to be tired, but it's not really bothering me.
No, they're light.
Yeah.
They're light.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can fish all day with them. You know, we've been fishing since daylight, and you don't even know you had a rod in your hand, do you?
No, not at all. So, yet again, another valuable tip here from Fish Blue Water from a guy who's got 60 years experience on this lake. So really appreciate having you on the boat here today
Hey,
with us.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I've had a wonderful time.
Thoroughly.
So the biggest mistake I see people make when they're speck fishing is they drop the jig too fast. All right. So if you look at the way a speck
Ease it down.
mouth and eyes are situated, see that? It's looking up. The mouth is upturned. So when you drop the jig too fast, they never even see. So drop it slowly to catch their attention. That's a nice one. But yeah, this reel is a little. Yeah, oh yeah, this is 11 and a half inches. So this reel, as opposed to the Slater reel that John's using, is just a simple $10, $15 reel. And it's easier to take out line and let in line. It's got a little handle, but that's all you need. You're not casting, you're just dropping it down. You might alter the depth of your line 6 inches, 8 inches, a foot, depending on how deep you're fishing, but that's it. You don't need to cast or anything like that. So pump too deep, just reel it up a little bit, that's it.
I mean, I've
This
never
is just to
done nothing
adjust
like
how
this
much line you have
before.
out.
I'm
That's
just
all it
used
is.
to fishing.
There's no
Okay.
casting.
Tommy,
Yes, sir.
you want the bad news or the good news first?
Give me the bad news.
The bad news is our batteries are dead. We're out of footage. We've filled all of our cards for today.
What's the good news?
The good news is we still get to keep fishing.
That
And
is
the
good
reason
news.
our batteries are dead is because this legendary guy here to my right has put us on some serious fish today. I mean, guys, what an amazing day. Like I'm mind blown. I'm mind blown, JD, about what this is like, and thank you so much for being generous enough to share with our viewers your 60 years of experience, because this channel is about action, adventure, and education.
Right.
And the only way you grow a sport is by educating people and letting them become better anglers to where they become more involved in the sport that we're all passionate about, right? And so, I mean, Tommy,
Yes, sir.
obviously lifelong friend, thank you so much for allowing us to be up here with you on your boat.
Anytime.
Marsad, obviously,
Great
you're a
fishing with
slayer, Tommy said, and you lived up to the reputation. And again, just great group of guys, fantastic time. We're gonna have we'll have details in the description below about some of the gear we fished. We'll even reference some of the locations near Lakeport where you can go pick up some of these types of jigs, these rods, this equipment. We'll get all that eventually in the description below. So we're gonna keep fishing, but we're headed back to the dock a little bit later with a well full of speckled perch